Hey, to my awesome women over 40, close to 50 like me. Y'all know I'm on a mission to help y'all get married. And hello to my women under 50, my young sisters. Hello, hello, hello. I want to help you attract the love, honey, that you desire and you deserve. So, today, when creators create these videos, sometimes I have a title in mind, sometimes I don't. But today in this video, I know I'm going to talk about two things specifically. I'm going to talk about love bombing and I'm going to talk about narcissistic personality disorder. Both are extremely important. And here's why I'm talking about this. I was watching a video the other day, and it's an older video. I was going through some notes that I had, and it was a creator online that talks a lot about marriage and relationships and, a lot of topics for women over 40 as well. And she's a woman. And when I was listening to her video, I thought to myself, she is giving the exact three things in that video. She said there were three specific things to do basically to attract a man. And all three things are things that are going to help you attract a narcissist. And I realize that many of you aren't studious. You get out of college, get out of high school, you never ever pick up a book. You guys aren't tuning into podcasts that edify, uplift, inspire, motivate. I'm a business owner, I'm an entrepreneur full time the last 10 years. Well, yeah, 2014, 10 years full time. I was not fired from my job. I walked away, made six figures my first 6 months. We have not had a year under six figures to date. So I tend to be on the side of a lot of personal development, a lot of professional development, a lot of business development. I am always looking for something to learn. I'm kind of like on that edge where I want to go work with my doctorate. So learning for me is a lifestyle. And what I've realized is whenever there's anything chaotic, whenever there's anything going on in a friend's life, like I tend to study and I ask, right? I ask for wisdom from God. I meditate a lot. So that means that I'm listening. I pray, which is one way talking to God. Meditation is listening. And within the last several months, when I'm recording this video, it's June 2024. And within the last maybe 90 days or so, for whatever reason. Now, if you're watching this video, you're going to start seeing videos about narcissists. So don't watch all the videos. I do recommend Dr. Ramani. She's amazing. And if you're dealing with a narcissist, because I know a lot of women that are, then I recommend also Surviving Narcissism. You will read a lot in the comments for people like, oh my God, I had to walk away. Oh my God, I can't survive. You can learn how to survive if that's the situation you're in. But again, as I'm sharing this content, I want to be very clear on what I'm sharing, and I want to give you information because I don't want you to attract a narcissist. I don't know that 99% of you would never be able to survive a narcissist. 1% of you would because you're strong enough. But you need to understand, and I say need, I'm not even suggesting, you need to understand this term if you're dating over 40. And if you're younger, you still need to understand what this looks like. So that's the summary. Going into now, talking about love bombing, and I have my notes here. I actually have my computer up because I want to give you really, really good information and knowledge. Love bombing, what is it? Love bombing, and this is choosingtherapy.com. I'll leave the link in the description because I'm referencing content. I am not a psychologist. I'm not a therapist, mental health professional. It's not my background. Love bombing is defined as the continuous bombing of a person with flattery, compliments, and affection. It comes in various forms: gift giving, long winded messages, social media interactions, and passionate declarations of love early on in the relationship. And it's often used with narcissistic personality disorder. Now, I'm going to reference that as NPD moving forward. Typically, a person being love bombed will be flooded early in a relationship with their partner's desire to discuss their future together. The love bomber may overly communicate their feelings. Oh my God, I feel like I just can't live without you. Oh my God, I need you. I've never met someone like you before. They're going to say things. And I want you to now recognize if this is going on because there are certain patterns. There is a cadence to this. And the best part about a person with MPD, yes, there's a best part, is they don't know they have it. But if you can pick up and understand that they have it, you either have a blueprint on how to, literally a roadmap on how to deal with it, or you can exit left quickly. The behavior, the partner may claim they love the person or they're their soulmate, like, oh my God, again, I can't live without you. But that behavior is really altruistic as the partner seeks to make gains for hopelessly romantic expressions, whether control, success, or unwavering admiration. So there is a difference between love bombing and genuine love. Love bombing is great to woo you. And again, when I'm listening to this woman online, I was like, whoa, like if you literally follow literally a lot of what has been said over the years in the community, especially when Kevin Samuels, bless his heart, was alive. And I spoke with Kevin Samuels. I listened to Kevin Samuels. A lot of that will attract men that are controlling, that will require a lot of attention, and they really want to be made to feel very, very special. Now, there's nothing wrong with that. Who doesn't want to feel special, have attention? And marriage is a form of control. You got a ring here. Everybody knows that you're taken, you've spoken for. So there may be traits or hints of this. We all probably have a little hint of this nature. I heard someone say, even in the past, that like God is narcissistic. Well, fairly recently, because I just discovered this term and everything. And there are traits, but for them to have the full disorder, they may not. Again, they probably don't know. And from what I understand from Dr. Ramani, psychologists and psychiatrists are actually, they typically don't even inform them that they have it, because people with this disorder, they don't even believe that they have the disorder. Like it's not something like a PTSD, for example, or depression or anxiety. This is it's different. It's similar, but it's not the same. Love bombing creates an idealized version of the love bomber, but the true colors shine through because you're love bombed and then it stops. There's some point where you're gonna be like, whoa, whoa, whoa. They showed up all the time. They did all of these things. They wanted to, be intimate with me all the time. They showed me a lot of affection. They wowed and wooed you because there's all this content online telling you what to do, like how to behave. You're reading the books. This is what the men are looking for, and you're conforming, but they're love bombing. Other examples. You're my soulmate. You're the perfect woman for me. Oh my God, I've never met anyone like you. You're just perfect. You complete me. I've never met anyone. I'll never meet anyone like you ever again. But they say these things to everyone that they meet. You don't know that, but they say these things to everyone they meet. Be leery if they want to know everything about you right away. Your life seems to mesmerize them. You're sharing so many details. And I've actually heard um, someone online, and I can't think of her last name, so I don't want to say her first name, but they talk about this. Don't share everything about your life with a man initially. He doesn't need to know your childhood traumas. That's why they get therapy. You don't have to go super duper deep. That's why a lot of you don't have sister relationships, because you want to go super duper deep. Keep it at the surface. How was your childhood? It was probably like most people. It was a little challenging here and there. My father wasn't in the household, but my mother did a great job raising us. My grandmother was there, my uncles. Like flip it. Don't go super duper duper deep, telling exposing everything about you, especially early on. Make people earn that trust and credibility. Why are they so curious? They're super duper duper curious. Maybe they're oversharing, but they're super curious about you. They're incredibly interested, and they use sensitive information as a means of exploitation and manipulation later in the relationship. So, in other words, with this one, with love bombing, they take what you say to control you, harm you, or damage your reputation. Love bomber may dump all their childhood trauma on you, second date, third date. Everyone who has ever hurt them, you learn about their entire medical and psychiatric history. They're just sharing everything about you. And again, I need you to understand that this is something. Now, to my single sisters that be coming here trolling on my videos, oh my God, I'm just so happy I'm single. Sis, I'm happy for you. But you out there dating because y'all sleeping with somebody. I have a friend, literally, in her 70s, and she got a friend. And I'm like, you literally let a man come over here in his 70s and just sleep with you? So y'all be great with your friends, but some of us over here want to get this stuff right. Okay, so y'all have to stop this stuff. If you feel like you're with somebody and they just want constant validation, and these are very as I'm learning this and I'm hearing women talk about this and I'm discussing this with others, this isn't something where you're in it and they want you to text them right away. No, 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 no. But you feel like you're constantly reassuring them, like you didn't text them back for a couple hours. And they're like, what maybe it's even a jokey way. Who you out there seeing? I'm not seeing anybody, honey. I'm only seeing you. You don't want from me. Again, bringing it to your attention. Intense declarations of love. Feeling love is something most of us crave, but love bombing takes love to another level. The love bomber may remind you of their love in every constant conversation. I just love you so much. Making love. I love you so much. I love you. I love you. I love you. I can never live without you. They tell you that all the time. I can never live without you. And it intensifies as the relationship moves on. And it's very much like going to a cliff and it just you drop and it's over. They have a lot of pressure for you to commit very, very early. They're ready to make things official in a few days. They're ready for marriage very quickly. So again, think about these. The idea of commitment seems exciting, but don't ignore if things are moving too fast. They say all the right things. Girl, he just says all the right things to make me feel better. Intense clinginess. They want to spend all their time with you. They text or call you nonstop, all the time, all the time. Over the top expensive gifts or over the top with gifts. They can be exploitative and emotionally manipulative. Immense jealousy when you're with anyone else. You were with your mom. Oh, you spend time with your mom every Thursday. Oh, okay. Well, does it have to be every Thursday? Can it just be once a month? Just pay attention. I ain't trying to scare you, but you all need to pay attention in life. Hey, I run a marriage support group for women. If you are interested in marriage, if you're married, join the group because we need each other for support, not because things are going crazy all the time. Sometimes they are, sometimes they're not. But if they're not, they will be. And if they aren't right now, and then you're either, Bishop Bronner says you're either in the valley, he says with the challenge, in the battle, above the battle, or getting ready to go into the battle. Are they overwhelming you with compliments and lots and lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of affection and attention? And again, these are extremes. These aren't like, oh my God, I see him and he's like, oh my God, baby, you look good. These are extremes. And you know what extremes are. Okay, excessively following your whereabouts. They just pop up. You just look up and they're just there all, like, wow, I didn't know you were going to be here. Oh, I didn't call, but I'm here. They just show up at things, show up at work. They're outside waiting for you. They just show up. They ignore your boundaries. Deep down, love bombers don't actually care about you. They blatantly ignore your boundaries. Boundaries are there to keep you healthy and safe, but they care about getting what they want. Let me give you a clear example. This happened to me in the past. Someone said, oh, I didn't get to talk to you today. And that's like, oh, I was really busy and here's what I did. Da, 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 da. They never commented on anything I did. They just were like, well, looks like you're really busy, but I wish I could have spoken to you. Hopefully I'll talk to you tomorrow. Immediately, I was like, whoa, this ain't a person. They didn't even acknowledge it. Now, again, I know I'm dealing with men and not women. Girlfriends be like, oh, girl, your hair, this and that. But it's very important to understand that's a form of narcissistic personality disorder. So it's a narcissistic trait. I'm only concerned about myself. I'm not really concerned about you. Reminding you of how good you are together. Love bombers will direct a conversation when things start to feel off or if you've had a bad argument. They'll remind you how special the relationship is instead of taking responsibility for their actions. Lashing out when criticized. They react with anger when you question or criticize their behavior. Okay? Never take responsibility. That's why for previous relationships, this is one big thing. You need to be in marriage counseling before marriage. And it doesn't need to be your uncle, friend. You need to go to like a therapist, a licensed therapist. You need to sit in somebody's office and look at them. Okay, sit in somebody's office, talk with them, because they're going to ask questions about their past relationships. And you need to see if they take responsibility and tell the truth about them. Me, I had to take responsibility for my past relationships. It really, my first marriage, it needed to end. Again, there was just an uncomfortable conversation where my daughter said he told her a secret and I wasn't playing it. And later, in the fast forward like 20 plus years even, and that secret came into fruition with another family member, not my girls. And then the second marriage, it really was me. I shouldn't have married someone. I didn't understand entrepreneurship. That just didn't work for me. So I had to take responsibility for making that choice and that decision. And it was me. I take responsibility. It was me. Father of my 3 children, we were young. So again, How do they talk about not just like, oh, I hate my ex, she did this, this, and this. Well, why she do that? You need a professional to go in and probe. I'm not going to get into a lot of the MPD, um, but I do want you to be aware. This one says how to protect yourself from love bombing. Watch out for early signs. Learn how to avoid narcissists. They're very charming. Protect yourself from their tactics by learning more about the behavior and characteristics. Understand what a healthy relationship looks like this. Because again, as I'm now on my journey and enjoying my marriage and my husband and my life, I'm looking back like there are just so many things we didn't know that aren't taught. But when you're taught to be fit, feminine, friendly, FBI, beautiful, inspiring, well, if he's taught to be kind of a provider, but he's like more on the end of controlling and more on the end of he wants to feel extra special and more on the end of he wants a lot of attention. Many of you are giving up your hobbies. You're not, and I look at you. I'm around you. I know women that are married, young women, older women. You just don't have a healthy life because it centers all around him. And as you grow, sis, you're probably gonna outlive him anyway, but you don't want a life centered all around everything about him. What do you like? It's kind of like coming to America. What do you like to eat? Like my husband, I eat meat now because really it just was a lot easier in my relationship to eat the meat than not eat the meat. Eat the meat. You know what I mean? But you're gonna conform a little bit. But when you're almost like a Stepford wife and you're robotic, sis, you gotta maintain who you are. Because there are a lot of things said on the internet, but that's because a lot of people are watching things said on the internet. You do not know what's going on behind the scenes. So understand what a healthy relationship looks like. But if you say, well, I think I'm being love bombed, you need to set healthy boundaries. Don't mean you need to walk away. I mean, everything in every comment is like, I just walked away. You want to be homeless? Like, seriously, some things people do, I'm just like, that's not smart. You should never be abused in a relationship, but take inventory. Talk to a therapist. And a therapist can really help you because it's a safe environment where you can share your feelings and they can help you uncover, what's working, what's not, what you can improve. Because the purpose of marriage is to become your best self. There is a clear purpose for marriage to become your best self. Okay. So Miles Monroe, late Dr. Miles Monroe says, when the purpose of a thing is not known, abuse will occur. So you want to understand what is the purpose of marriage. Okay. So with that said, again, I didn't know what I was going to title this, but I think I am going to title this, what is love bombing, or are you attracting a narcissist? Because again, I'm watching enough videos that if you all are watching the videos and you really, really want a husband, you're going to conform, you're going to read the books, you're going to listen to Kevin Samuels, you're going to absorb so much, and you're not going to understand it's not all about him. It's not all about you. It's about you two coming together as one. It's about you two understanding what life is going to look like for the both of you, what a healthy relationship is for the both of you. What my relationship is not what your relationship is. But the poo-poo you have in that first marriage is going to be the poo-poo you have in the third marriage. So deal with the poo-poo. Okay. You don't like your mother-in-law? Okay. You might not like your the ex-wife. You might have a cynical mother-in-law, you might have a cynical ex-wife, you might have cynical step-kids. And here's the thing people don't talk about. You might have step kids, meaning he married somebody that had 5 kids. I'm gonna tell you a real story. I know a gentleman. He had one child, second marriage, married a woman that had 3 children. So they were her children. He had one child coming into the marriage, and he had custody of his son. She was in social work, so he said she wanted to adopt 2 kids. And he was like, we got our own kids, 4. But they went on with the adoption. He said she left for 2 years. Just walked away. Not with her kids though. Left her 3 kids, the 2 kids they adopted, and his. He was raising 6 kids. He said he didn't even divorce her. Like he knew she or whereabouts. She just left. So he raised all those children. Now he's in his 60s. And he's still now raising some of the grandchildren. Like this is like when he told me the story, I was like, that's a mess. And she actually got remarried. I said, but you raised all the kids? He said, I raised all of them. All of them. She never came back to get them. I have another friend, like these are real stories. She was with a man, I think it was her second husband. The ex-wife passed away. They got custody of the kids. She said it was living hell. She said the kids were terrible. Now that might not be your experience, but I want you to hear that there are some real. So if you meet that man with the 6 kids, he don't have one kid because all them kids are his. He raised them. So they all become your step kids. These are real life things that people don't talk about. So again, I wanted to talk about the love bombing. I want you to be aware that there is narcissistic personality disorder. Understand what that is. Listen to Dr. Ramani, because a lot of women are married to men with this disorder, and men too, but I'm not talking to men, I'm talking to women. It's characterized by arrogance, self-importance, and grandiosity. Narcissists rely entirely on external sources of validation. They call it source. They call you like a source of validation to maintain their self-esteem, and often alternate between extreme pride and shame. They don't call it source, they call it supply. Okay. So you could be his supply. You could be a coworker supply. Like MPD is not just for spouses. It could be coworker, family member, mother, father, daughter. So that's why it's something that I say understand. It could be your mother-in-law. I know people actually dealing with an MPD mother-in-law. Okay. So hopefully, this is meant to inspire and encourage and motivate, because I think that too many people are just going throughout life like y'all, like little butterflies that just think that you're not going to encounter any challenges, and when you do not understand how to react because you're not being proactive in your life. Study to show thyself approved. Relationships are hard. 80% of the time they're easy, but 20% of the time they're hard. That's why 50% of first marriages fail, 67% of second marriages fail, 73% of third marriages fail. They don't have the stats because people just give up. Don't do that. Get in it and study. Study your husband, study yourself. You see odd things going on. Oh, this isn't normal. Talk to a therapist, because then you don't have to walk away. You can say, oh my God, I know what I'm dealing with. I know why this behavior exists. I know why. Okay. You're not in a marriage to be miserable, but you're not in a life to be unhappy either. Okay. You got this. Study to show yourself approved. But if you are in a situation where you're being love bombed, get a therapist, start putting up healthy boundaries, and understand what you are willing to accept and what you're not willing to accept. Because at some point, you may need to walk away. That might be the best choice, especially early on in a relationship. But don't walk away and you don't understand what's going on. All right. I got to run. I have meetings today. So thank you so much for joining me. Again, I'm Montina here. I have a Happy Wife Project. Join the happywifeproject.com. And you can also join my marriage support group every Monday through Friday. Excuse me, Eastern Standard Time, 7:30 in the morning. I know some of y'all be at work. You just listen in or join the replay. All right, y'all. Thanks as always. And let me know in the comments below if this was helpful or not. Just give me a thumbs up. I'll see you in the next video. Bye, y'all.